Doing it live.
Doing it live.
Okay.
Hello,
It
Earl.
says it's live. All right. Hi.
Okay. Do you believe it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. It's we're no longer going to use episode numbers. We're just going to use hat editions apparently. So this is the
Okay,
Wookiee
yeah.
hat edition.
The Wookiee hat edition.
At least until I run out of hats to use.
I don't know how this guy feels about your Wookiee hat.
Oh dear. These
Dun,
aren't the Wookiees you're looking for.
Is this gonna get us a copyright strike for
I don't know.
as long as I don't
Well,
sing
we're
the
gonna-
theme song, this will be okay.
We're gonna get in trouble, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Well, I don't think it can recognize stuff yet. Well, I hope it doesn't recognize stuff yet.
Oh god, dude. I've just been messing around with that AI drawing program.
Oh yeah, I saw you posting stuff with that. Now I'm going to request that you make some AI Wookiees.
AI Wookiees. Let's do it.
AI
Let's do it live.
Wookiees. That will be my request. So once this thing goes live, you're going to post some AI designed Wookiees underneath our Facebook post.
Yeah, we see the beauty. Like the thing I think is actually super cool about it is you can do drawings in styles of artists.
Yes, I saw that.
I actually did some Salvador Dali Darth Vader's last night.
Oh, very
Salvador
nice.
Dali Wookiee.
You gotta post that. You gotta post that then. So melty
Okay.
Wookiee.
Oh, I may not know what a Wookiee is. So, but here, bringing it back to bringing it back to what we're actually here for. Oh, weird.
Right. The name of the podcast and
name
the
of the
intro. I
podcast
guess we
and
should
all
do
that.
that.
Oh yeah. So yes, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Thank you for joining us on live, and thank you for watching this recorded, if that's what you're doing. This is Earl and the Idiot. Dun, 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 dun.
Huzzah. And I'm
do
the
have a
Earl,
few-
so that makes
Yeah. So he's the Earl. So that limits my options, don't it? I am here to be the idiot. I'm here to ask the dumb questions of the smart Earl and get you the answers you need to grow your business. How's that sound? Sound pretty good?
Sounds
If you
good to
can't,
me.
if you can't ask the dumb questions, you don't get the smart answers.
There you go.
So, but yeah, with this AI program, I've been using it to create copyright-free images for my website clients.
Mhm.
Oh my God,
That's
that's
awesome.
perfect. There we go.
What do you got?
The
something
Salvador Dali Wookiee.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how I'm going to show it to you. If I show, I guess I can screen share it.
You can share your screen now at this point. And anybody listening to the podcast, I apologize, but I need to see the Salvador.
The Darth Vader is pretty good as well. But yeah, like one of my clients does nail polish, right? She sells nail polish, and
Okay.
the aesthetic is kind of like a horror movie aesthetic, like a crime scene aesthetic kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I just used AI to make some images of Frankenstein.
Right.
Some of the pictures, like there was a test that people would do to prove they could, to some of the nail products have safety issues with them,
Mhm.
right? So you have to pass a little test to prove you're worthy. And
Well, you're not supposed to eat them. I think that's how it works.
yeah. Question one: do you eat? Actually, I'll show you this one too while we're at it.
Do you
And so
drink
I
the
just
nail
made
polish?
a AI image of Frankenstein taking a test.
Nice.
Where's my screen share? Oh yeah, there it is, right there in the middle.
So
The most
you have-
obvious
yeah.
thing.
The giant button with the big arrow pointing up saying screen share.
Can you see that?
There we go.
I need to zoom in on
I
that.
do. That's pretty solid, man. That's very Frankenstein taking a test, man.
Right. It doesn't matter. It's a little weird because that was the aesthetic for the page, right?
Right. So I guess the AI look and feel goes really well with horror thematic.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But then now the AI is just getting better and better. This is my hack of the week. I'm coming up with my own hack of the week.
There you go. AI generated images.
Yeah, why not? Right. Whatever you need, you just type it in, you get an image and use it. It's copyright free. You sort of made it. You know what I mean?
Right. Except for names and things and Spider-Man and whatever else you're not allowed to technically use, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then the Sony comes after you. So
yeah. Oops. Zoom in on that.
So
a little
where's
bit. Okay.
where's my Wookiee?
I don't think you're even ready for this, man. This is too outrageous.
Dun, dun, dun. Holy crap! It actually looks like a Wookiee. Of course,
Right?
the floating eyeball Wookiee is a little weird, but
Yeah, well,
yeah, man,
but this is Salvador Dali style, so of course it's going to be weird, right?
absolutely. But that does legit look like Salvador Dali made a Wookiee.
Right. Let me show you.
Huh.
Let me show you. Let me show you.
That is
Darth
legitimately
Vader,
weird.
right? I got a couple of Darth Vaders. What's the best one?
So we have AI generated content all for your business. So now when you're building stuff and you need some pictures or whatever else, you just use some AI generation content and you're good to go.
Exactly. Yeah, this is going to be. No, that's still the Wookiee. If I upload this, you seeing it?
Nope, I still see a Wookiee.
Still see a Wookiee. Okay, hang on.
Your screen share kung fu's not so strong.
No, it's not something I do very often. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Darth Vader fighting himself.
Yeah. Is he like
his evil twin, I guess, since it's more
Chrome-
eviler?
Chrome Darth Vader? I typed in Darth Vader fighting Luke Skywalker, and it gave me two Darth Vaders fighting with each other.
Oh, there you go. Alternate universe. Luke Skywalker turns into Darth.
But I swear, you hang this in a Salvador Dali museum, I'll go, oh, geez, I didn't know Salvador Dali painted Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
exactly.
been like, oh, this is AI generated attempt to imitate. No,
Who knew?
I'm a big fan of Salvador Dali. I'm very familiar with what his stuff looks like, and this would have absolutely passed for me.
There you go. That works.
Getting scary.
All right. So I guess we're still on quotes from Cancun today.
Quotes from Cancun. Yeah, that's a good name
Quotes
for the
from
episode.
Cancun.
Cancun quotes.
But this is episode 2, so it's got to be episode 2, the revenge, because every episode 2 is the revenge all the time, right?
Yeah, episode 2, the Revenge of Cancun.
There you go.
Yeah, so this was you were down in Cancun. For those of you just joining us, Earl was in Cancun for a like a business coaches convention, right?
Yeah. So I'm coaching the coaches, the coaches. So yeah, it gets very deep.
It's coachception.
There you go. And now with the Salvador Dali Wookiee, a Wookiee hat is Wookieeception, so it's all good.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna make a Salvador Dali painting of a Wookiee hat.
Nice.
So let's back up for a second. So why, you do business coaching. You coach multiple businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You've made multiple tens, hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars for companies.
Of dollars, yeah. I was tracking it for a while. I stopped counting after 70-ish million. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're good.
Yeah. So why should someone hire a business coach? Can't they just make it on their own?
Yeah, the same reason why everybody hires any coach at all whatsoever, right? You can't really watch yourself swing, right? Why does Tiger Woods, the best, arguably the best golfer in the universe, have a coach? Because he can't watch himself swing. No business ticks all the boxes for everything, for anything, for that matter, right? Like, as an example, like I have a coach, and the coach kicks my butt all the time, saying, "Hey, why aren't you doing this yet?" Right? So if I tell them, "Hey, I'm doing $1 million," cool. It's almost like over expectant Asian father. It's just like, okay, well, you're doing $1 million. Why aren't you doing 2? Right? Like, A is for average, B is for bad. So, and then finally, I'm doing $1 million. Oh, great, you're doing $1 million. Your cousin's doing 2. Why aren't you like your cousin? Like, damn it.
Yeah,
so it's never enough, right? So
you call that $10 million?
Oh yeah, I have one of my mentors kick me in the shin and said, "Earl, you can do $1 billion before you're 50." I'm like, "Excuse me, what? $1 billion with a B?" You do realize I've never cracked 9 figures yet. I'm supposed to get to 10. So yeah, he said, break it down, break it apart, start breaking. I'm like, and then I broke it down. I'm like, oh, holy cow, I could probably do it. So there you go. Apparently, I'm on the road to $1 billion now. So, and now we just had it live, so now I'm completely screwed.
There you go. You put it out there. You've spoken it.
Damn you, mentors. They're like
manifesting.
Oh, this other guy in class is doing 13 million. Oh, you can do 13 million. Ah, crap. And then just kept on pushing it higher and higher. And we're like, hey, you can do $1 billion valuation, right? Yeah, I guess. So, learning the stuff that I'm learning now, acquisitions, mergers and acquisitions, roll-ups on companies. Yeah, we figured out a way how to do $1 billion. Totally doable. Now it's just going out and doing it. So I have begun the process. So the timer is ticking. I'm a ripe old age of 42 now. So by the time I'm 50, I'm trying to aim for $1 billion valuation, not actually $1 billion in my pocket. I'm not that good. So we'll see how we get there.
Why not? Billion is for bad.
Yes. Why not trillion when I get there? I'm like, geez, man. I guess. No, I think if I hit that, I'm gonna retire once and for all at that point. Then I'll just do stuff.
Elon Musk is a trillionaire. Why are you slacking?
Exactly.
So we are going through. I showed these last week. We're going through these quote images that you took. This is our hack of the week last week. You took these images of the speakers and you posted up your favorite quote from them, the thing that most impacted you. And we're just going to go through some of these things and the lessons that you, Earl the genius, learned by you like when you go there and you're learning from these people. Now you're the idiot. You know what I mean? It's like we're all the idiots, some genius out there.
No, man, like I strive to be the dumbest guy in the room. If I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm in the wrong room. I gotta go find another room. So I was there in front of 130, I think the number was, other like world-class coaches. And these are like world-class coaches. Every single one of them could school every other single one of them in a different particular arena of the process. And yeah, my God, what a learn! This crazy learning fest. It was good.
Brilliant. So this actually ties right in. So this is a quote from a Mr. Malcolm Reed.
I just got off the phone with him. So
no kidding.
En route to here, I was just talking to him.
Next time you talk to him, tell him I love the shorts.
That was the coolest. The guy has so much swag. It's crazy. He had short pants suit and it was yellow and it was just baller. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I want a short pants suit.
Right. You see, there's something about, the cool factor. If you're cool enough, you wear anything and it looks cool. If I wore that, people would be like, oh my God, what a dork. But this
dude, I could barely pull off a freaking salmon colored shirt, let alone a freaking it's like, yo, your shirt's pink. I don't have the capacity to go, yo, it's salmon. But no, like, it's a yellow, it's a yellow suit, but it's not a suit, it's a short pants and a blazer, but they're both exactly the same color yellow. So it's just baller.
Not to get too off topic, but I cracked fashion a while ago. I figured out what fashion is.
Oh, okay.
Fashion is something comes into fashion, okay, and everyone's wearing it now. Bell bottom jeans, whatever it is.
Okay.
Right. Now everyone's wearing it. Now people that have that X factor, that swagger, that cool, that like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That coolness, they got to be not like everyone else. So they wear something stupid.
Yes.
Right? So everyone's wearing bell bottoms. If you don't have bell bottoms, you're not cool. Someone who's just got that magic factor shows up wearing skinny jeans, tapered legs, the exact opposite.
Right.
And at first everyone goes, what the hell are you wearing? That looks stupid. But then the guy wears it, guy or girl, wears it with such panache and such flair. Everyone goes, actually, you know what? That is cool. So then they all start copying him or her. And then that becomes fashionable. Now everyone's doing it. And now the cool people got to do something else different.
And then they got to zag when everybody else zigs again, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But if you're cool enough, you can wear something really stupid looking and pull it off, and then that becomes fashionable. Anyway,
and then it rips all the way around again until bell bottoms are cool once again. Right?
Yeah, exactly. We're about due for bell bottoms. Bell bottoms were obviously in the 70s when they first came out. They were big in the 90s when I was growing up. I think they're due for a comeback now because it's been skinny jeans for a while. So that's your tip, everybody. Your financial advice: invest in bell bottoms.
Nice.
All right, getting back to the reason we're here. So Mr. Malcolm Reed says, wealth principle, your income can only grow to the extent you do. What does that mean? I'm an idiot. Explain it to me.
So I'll repeat the quote. Your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Everybody has a ceiling in their head as to what they value themselves at, right? So everyone has this invisible ceiling in your head that I can only make $50,000. I can only make $100,000. I can only make $200,000. I'm only worth $300,000. I'm only worth $1 million. And whatever that glass ceiling is set to, it's like your internal money thermometer, right? So whatever that's set to is whatever you're going to default to back when everything goes crazy and everything goes sideways. So you're going to hit success. You will self-sabotage yourself back down to whatever your wealth thermometer is set to. So whatever that is in your head, whatever you believe that you're worthy of, that's what you'll be able to earn, right? So the wealth principle, again, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. It's whatever you believe that you are worthy of receiving. that's where your income can grow to. So when you start hitting some certain ceilings, so some people can't get, past the 6-figure mark. Some people then can't get past the $500,000 mark. Some people can't pass the million mark. And whatever it is keeps haunting them over and over again. It's because your internal thermometer is only set to that amount of money. So you have to do things by which to experience, I guess, a level up. So when you can experience this thing and accept that you can accept this into your life and actually, understand that you can do this, right? You're going to get self-sabotage until the point where, essentially you keep stabbing yourself in the foot or shooting yourself in the foot until you go back down to wherever that's set to. So ways to build that up is to, one simple thing that you can do is just write everything you've ever done in a calendar. So everything you do, you put in the calendar. When you look backwards in your calendar, you can actually see all the stuff that you did and feel good about the progress that you've made, right? Get testimonials. Get testimonials via video, audio, written testimonials. People just say, hey, you helped me out. You did such a good thing. I really appreciate your company, your product, your service, whatever it is. And as you get more and more of those, you feel that you are worthy to help more, which means you're worthy to earn more, right? Other neat things that you can do. Now, people talk about like, go find the car of your dreams, do a test drive, blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No?
That, it is a good mental exercise. It's just that it's not a good realistic exercise because you don't actually get to really truly enjoy it. You're not really using the car. Sometimes you're just going to the showroom, sitting inside, taking a picture of yourself in a Lambo. That's great and all, but it's not a real true experience. So just level up in small places. So a small place you could level up in. So as an example, what's the fanciest hotel? What's the fanciest place in your town? Go grab a tea or a coffee there. They serve tea and coffee. Hang out there for tea and coffee, right? What's going to happen is that you will get used to, you'll get accustomed to that type of behavior, those types of people that you want to be around, that you want to grow your network in. And all of a sudden, having tea or coffee at the fancy restaurant, the fancy club, becomes a normal to you, and it'll help increase that thermometer internally. They go, wait, I hang around with millionaires, billionaires, cajillionaires, whatever you want, on a regular basis. There's 3 of them having tea across from me. I think I'm okay to be earning in this space. I've been able to help these people. They've said nice things about me. You start to believe, right? And it's a mixture between confidence and self-confidence. They're different things, right? So confidence and self-confidence, both of them are skills, by the way. You have to train both, right? It's something that you have to practice. It's like a muscle. You don't use a muscle long enough, it starts to fall apart. You need to exercise it. So confidence versus self-confidence. Confidence is other people, seeing and recognizing skill sets, attributes, things that you can do. Self-confidence is yourself recognizing that you have those attributes, right? So, imposter syndrome is when you're trying to step outside beyond where your self-confidence allows you to think your way through things. You go, well, yes, I can do that. Here's the thing: if you've not done it enough, or you don't believe you've done it, or you believe that when you did it, it was an accident, right? It's not true, actual, belief in yourself. There's not real self-confidence there, and you need to kind of balance between these two things, right? You've got that confidence is, someone says nice things about me. Self-confidence is I believe it, and I can see that behavior or that thing that I'm doing is real, right? And I'm accepting of it. So, before I didn't believe that I could find, $1 million for a business in like an audit over the course of a month. Now I'm finding 7, 10, 15, $20 million. And because I did it the first couple times did not believe it. I'm like, holy, that's got to be a mistake. There's no way.
Someone made an error on the accounting.
Right. Carry the zero. There's no way. Right. Absolutely not. They make $500,000 in a week. I'm like, oh, maybe this thing does actually work. And then you repeat it over and over again, but you've got to then exercise that muscle of confidence, self-confidence. The customer goes, oh, holy cow. And then eventually you go, oh, holy cow. And then once they sink, all right, cool, I can go to that next level. Your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Well, there you go. There's some growth. I now truly, honestly believe that I can raise, a company like millions of dollars within their own systems because I've done it so many times at this point. It's like, okay, that's his old hat now, right? Yeah. I've done it that many times. People have said it. I have seen it. I have seen people said it. Mm-hmm. Great.
I remember I was working on a project with a guy. This is about God, almost 20 years ago now. We were working on this project and we were going 7 days a week on it. And I
Hmm.
said to him, I was like, man, we're going so hard at this. I need a break. I need to take a break, man. And he said, is that just like some fixed idea you have? He just asked me, like, is that like, where does it, like, you've got that idea that you need a break? Where'd you get that idea from? Like, is that just some weird fixed idea in your head? And it went, the idea just disappeared. And I was like, oh, right. I just have the idea I need a break. I don't actually need a break. And then we just
Hmm.
kept working for another like 6 weeks or something.
Right.
I was like, yeah, you bust through your limitations. Also, I remember Robert Kiyosaki, like relating to this quote, "The business can grow if you do." Kiyosaki, in his first book, he said he went to a lesson at what do you call it, a community center or something, and they said
Hmm.
they wrote down be, do, have.
Yes, I remember that one. I
Right?
love that one.
Gosh knows who taught it to him, but yeah, it's like you got to be first. So it's like you got to increase the you before you increase the have.
Absolutely. Right. If you want to be the person who's successful, be the person who's successful, then you will have what the successful person has.
Yeah.
Right. And
Actually,
you
here's a
can't
perfect
wait
quote.
until later.
Yeah, this next quote actually just rolls right in here. Rolla Diab. Diab?
Oh yes. Yes,
Diab?
Rolla. Yeah.
Yeah. She says, competence gives you confidence. Confidence gives you more competence.
Right. Absolutely.
That sounds
That's a
positive.
fantastic quote. Well, it's funny because there's 4 levels of competency, right? So if I start at the very bottom, you're unconscious incompetent. You don't know that you're terrible. Like this is the William, she bangs, right? He thinks he's a
Oh yeah.
great singer and he is not.
I gotta
Right.
interject. Did you ever see that show? I can't remember what it was called. But they actually made a whole TV show. It was like a talent show where they picked the worst singers.
Yes, I remember. I don't know what it's called either, but they picked the
I
worst.
found it. Like it's all on YouTube. I watched the whole thing. It's unreal. Anyway,
But that's the
so those
thing though,
guys.
like people don't have a measure of where they're at. And if they're really, really that terrible and they don't think that they're that terrible, I mean, you walk into a room of 100 people and say, who here truly believes that they're a good driver? People put their hands up. They go, yeah, everyone else is bad but me, right? And then
Mhm.
who here thinks that they're above average? And then more than half the room puts their hand up. Again, it just goes back to if more than half the room puts their hand up, somebody's lying. I know we talked about this last episode, but that's just it. People have this deranged, like they don't have this understanding of where they're actually at. So
Mhm.
that unconscious incompetent is level 0. You don't know that you're terrible, right?
Yeah.
And then as you start moving up the ladder, you become conscious that you're terrible, right? So now you have conscious incompetence, right?
Mhm.
You know that you're bad, so maybe we can work on it, right? So then
Yeah.
you've got unconscious competence where you don't know
Mm.
that you're good, right? And then you've got conscious competence where you know you're good and you know you can teach it and you know you can spread it. So that whole competence gives you confidence, right? The more you can
Mhm.
do something, and this goes back to that confidence, self-confidence, right? The more you believe that you can do something, you practice it over and over again, right? And that's kind of where it goes, right? So that as you see yourself doing it more, you get more competent at it because you've done it more times, right? So a really simple example is when I do sales training, right? In
Mhm.
sales training, I talk to people and I go, cool, pitch me. And then they pitch me. And the first time they pitch, they're like, question mark? And I'm like, yo, is it a statement or a question? Which one is
Yeah.
it? Is are you saying this thing or are you asking me this thing? It's like, no, I'm saying this thing. Well, cool. Well, then say it like you mean it. And then they say it again, they say it again, then they say it again. After the 4th or 5th time, they start to believe themselves, right? So you got to practice this. If you say it and you don't even believe it yourself, then how are you going to convey that message to the person across the table from you? Right? It's just not
Yeah.
going to
It's
work.
Grant Cardone says sell yourself first.
Sell yourself on yourself, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Totally
absolutely,
good.
Mr. 10x.
Yeah. Um, thought I had a good thought there, but no, it's gone. It's okay. I'm an idiot.
Poof.
That's
And
a
it's
trick.
gone.
That is good. That's the trick with calling yourself an idiot is you can hide behind that whenever you screw something up.
There you go.
So, all right,
What
let's see
was
what we
that
got next.
quote? When you pretend that you're bilingual, and so that way you're not stupid. It's just like, oh, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
understand this.
I can't remember the English word for it. You say.
Yes, exactly.
I forgot the word for it in English. All right, so Mr. Daniel, good guy, good name. I like that. Daniel Giordano. He's got two
Daniel
Dans.
Giordano.
Daniel
So,
Giordano. Is he Italian? Does he have an accent? Giordano.
no, he doesn't have an accent.
Molto
He's
bene.
he has a very American sounding accent.
All
So
right. Who do you serve? Define your client niche down within your niche.
so that was really good advice. So who do you serve? Everybody who tries to serve everybody fails miserably, right? It's
Yeah.
like, who's your customer? Are they breathing? Yeah. That's not really good, because then your message is very vanilla, right? People go, how come my messaging sucks? Well, because you're not talking to anybody, right?
Mhm.
If you can define your target market, right, and you can build it down till you have essentially a persona. So, my target market are males 34 to 38 years old. They're wearing, khaki pants, and they're wearing a t-shirt, da, 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 and you have it down exactly to who it is and who you're trying to talk to. As an example, my personal trainer only trains executives, men over the age of 40. Doesn't train anybody else. Doesn't train women. If you're not old enough, he doesn't want you. If you're not an executive, sorry, this is only for executives. Right. And because he speaks in such a manner, and it's so precise and so specific, whenever he makes some sort of communication, if you are his target demographic, you are, yes, a man and over 40 and in a C-level position or a VP role, it's like he's grabbing you from the internet, stealing you, pulling you in, and like shaking you and going and talking, hey, this is for you. Right. Whereas if it's just very vanilla, like, hey, can you fog a mirror? Yeah, great. You want to buy that? No, you don't. Right. The messaging doesn't really speak to you as specifically. Right. So there's another lady I was talking to, and she specifically coaches high performance women who are in an executive type position, and they're trying to break out and do their own thing. Right. And they want to get into their own business. She's very specific. Her messaging is very specific. If I was that target market, again, it's just like she's reaching out of the internet, grabbing me and saying, hey, talk to me. This is for you, right? So when he says niche down within your niche, right? There's a really cool diagram from what was the book Good to Great? And it's called the hedgehog concept. And the hedgehog concept talks about three things, right? It's number one, what can you do the best?
Really spiny so people don't touch you?
Yeah, there you go, and hop up and down. We used to own a hedgehog. That's what they do. They just go into a ball and then they hop. And because they hop, the spikes get everything, and it sucks. And so
it's the hedgehog principle.
The thing is, the reason why it's the hedgehog principle is the hedgehog has one technique. One. That's all it does. It puffs in the ball, starts huffing and puffing, and hops up and down. The spikes get you everywhere. It doesn't really matter, right? Like, it doesn't matter how tough you are, the spikes will get you. So when you're doing this one thing, hedgehog concept, the hedgehog concept from Good to Great is, what can you be the best at in the world, right? What do you actually enjoy doing, something you like? And then what makes money? You put those three things together in the Venn diagram where they all overlap. That's your hedgehog concept, right? So, actually,
isn't there a Japanese word for that? I thought there was a Japanese word for that sweet spot.
Japanese word, I think there is. I just can't remember. Ikigai, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I just said squid, but anyway, either way, something that sounds good. I'm kidding. Really squid? I'm kidding. I have no idea what it means.
My Japanese is a little rusty.
I haven't taken Japanese since high school, so yeah. There's three alphabets. I can only remember one of them. So it's just like, I don't remember the other two. And the other one's like 3,000 characters. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's funny, because it's like the super inefficient alphabet, right? Both Japanese and Chinese have the super inefficient alphabet. We have like one character for every single different thing. It's like, this is mountain, this is refrigerator. It's like, you don't use any overlapping stuff. It's just like, yeah, whatever.
The crazy part for me when I was in Taiwan and trying to learn Chinese is how different, like if you inflect the word differently, it's
yes,
completely
absolutely. Absolutely. There's really good videos on YouTube where they make fun of just every language, and like, here is French, and like the word green is the same as the word whatever, and they just use the same word over and over and over and over again. And then the same thing for Chinese. That's the one. And then and the Chinese one, where it's like the slight intonation up, slight intonation flat, slight intonation down, and each one, one of them means like a dog, the other one means your mother. And if you screw it up, oh man, right?
Don't mix them up.
and it's such polar opposite things, and the word is so similar. It's like, that's tough.
Nice. Here's a question for the business owners out there. Is it possible to become too niche? Like, have you ever seen someone screw things up by getting too niche?
Yeah,
Or the
absolutely.
more niche, the better?
You can go to niche, right? Like, like, I'm an animal trainer versus I teach underwater elephant polo. And that's a little too specific, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can go too niche. A really good way to test the niche ability of your product there's a really good book called The Ask Method
Oh yeah.
by Ryan Levesque, and he talks about this is a way to quickly test to see if your stuff is going to work out or not. And the basic test is just go to Google Trends and search for your stuff and see how many people are looking for this particular thing. Is it too niche where there's zero searches for this, where nobody's actually looking for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it difficult, right? Because if no one's looking for it, then you got a bit of an uphill battle. So anybody who has invented something new, right, typically you'll see them compare it to something old, because then you've got some sort of vantage point as to what to compare it against. It's imagine having to explain to somebody what an apple tastes like, but never having eaten an apple before.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty difficult. It tastes like an apple, right? So unless you've eaten an apple before, you have no reference point of that, right? So unless you have that reference point, it ain't gonna work, right? So you have to have that for sure. So you can niche too far down. If you niche too far down and nobody cares, then you've got the double whammy of having to educate people that this thing exists, and then you still have to sell them on it. Whereas,
right,
regular product, you just buy this one because this, right?
Yeah, it's a delicious cookie. You didn't invent the concept of a cookie. You just made a really good cookie.
The hell are these black things? Like, oh, those are chocolate chips. Whoa, gotcha. Right. So yeah, and then you break all trust by giving them the one with raisins.
That's the most evil thing that exists in the world.
Right. This is why I have trust issues.
Yeah. So this is a long one. This is a longer quote from Malcolm Reed. Again, the man with the shorts. If you personally believe in yourself, what's that?
The man with the yellow suit shorts. Yeah.
Exactly. If you personally believe in yourself, your product, and your company, it becomes your moral and ethical obligation to teach others how to get what you have and make their lives better.
When I was a computer programmer, I honestly hated the sales team, because they'd always say things and promise things that couldn't be done or we shouldn't be doing. And they would always be like, yeah, you can whenever the customer said yes, no problem. And it put a bad taste in my mouth around sales, right? But when I switched over to sales, I learned that it wasn't just lie to the customer until they buy something and then pray to God they don't return it, right? That doesn't work very long. But it's, if you have something that will truly help people, right? It is, and back to the quote, your moral and ethical obligation to teach others about it, because it'll actually help them. So if you truly believe in your product, truly believe in your service, small business, big business, doesn't matter, software as a service, if you believe that it'll help them and it does help them, it's your moral obligation to get it in front of people so that you can make their lives better, right? But obviously it's got to be something half decent to begin with, right? It's got to work most of the time. Like, nothing works 100% of the time, right? So it works all the time, most of the time, some of the time, right? That doesn't work. So if you truly love your product, your service, and it really does truly help people. So simple example, we were talking about roofing the other day, right? Mm-hmm. So, does the roof work? Does it leak? Does it keep the house warm? Yes, and yes. Okay, well, then you truly believe that your roof work will keep these people warm and dry.
Yeah.
It's your moral obligation to make sure that their house doesn't leak, right? Mm-hmm. So that's something, if my house was leaking and you could fix it, and you don't tell me you could fix it, and I have a big bag of money for you, and you don't come take my big bag of money so I can live in a warm, dry place, you're not doing yourself or me any favors, right? Like, if I'm your target customer, please tell me, because people hate being sold. People love buying things. Right? Mm-hmm. People hate being sold, but people love buying things. And if you help them with the buying process, they will love you because you're actually helping them fix their problems.
Yeah. I've got a lot of history in sales, and I've done that. If you sell someone on something you don't think they should actually have, you feel like garbage afterwards, and you'll self-sabotage your efforts too, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But when you feel like, like when I sell people on some website design or whatever, I realize that if they go with some overseas developer they can't trust who's going to turn in a garbage website and be gone. I mean, I've actually harmed them if I don't sell them on buying my services.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, if you have a website full of spelling mistakes and errors and this and that, and their phone number is wrong and their address is like, that's not helping anybody, right? It's like, and I need that service. Hey, I need an emergency plumber. Like, I'm not picky. If I type in emergency plumber, whoever shows up first, I'm calling you, right? And if their website is, the phone number is wrong and the hours are wrong and everything's wrong, with pricing is wrong, that's not going to do your business any good, right? So yeah, absolutely. If you're giving them a solid service and you are changing something for the better, it's your moral, ethical obligation to help people by delivering that said service. Right?
You hear that, business owners? You hear that, business owners? If you're not making enough money, not only are you failing yourself, but you're unethical and failing others. Doesn't that make you feel great?
Yeah, there you go. You gotta put yourself out there and explain who you are, what you do, and be able to explain it simply. I think, what was that quote from? I don't know if they stole it from Einstein or if it's legit or not. If you can't explain it simply, you can't explain it.
You know what that is? That's Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, who kind of looks like Einstein. So I'm not surprised people got it missed. That's actually, I'm a big Kurt Vonnegut fan. That was in one of his books.
Nice. There you go.
Although actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if he was referencing someone else, but he definitely made a big point of it in one of his books.
Well, I'm a big believer in there's nothing new under the sun, right? You just remix everything until it goes all the way back around again. So,
yeah.
And we're back to bell bottoms.
Exactly. Put a bow on this episode. Yeah. We have one more. Let's just do the last one here, and then we'll have to figure out something else to talk about next week. So the man himself, Carl Bryan, says, this seems pretty obvious. If every client you have sends 2 referrals, you triple the size of the business.
Yeah.
Even I can do the math on that one.
Yeah, there you go. Well, a lot of people are so hung up on new clients, but they don't realize that one of the greatest sources of new clients is old clients, right? You do a solid job, right? Again, it's your moral and ethical responsibility. You do them a solid job. You build somebody a website. They love it. It works exactly like it's supposed to. The phone is ringing because their business is being noticed now. It ranks in Google. Their phone number is correct. Everything is good. People start calling and asking them for quotes and stuff. That person you've done a solid to. You call that person up. You take them out for coffee or virtual coffee on Zoom or whatever. If they're from New York and you're from Vancouver, maybe it's a bit of a long haul for a coffee, but you take them, you talk to them, you just say, hey, how's it going? They say nice things about you. They love your work. They can't stop beaming about it. Look, what would be the most important thing to me is if you truly believe I've given you a good service, if you really like what I've delivered, what would help me the most would be introductions to other people just like you, who right? So imagine if you could introduce me to people just like you, but 2 months ago, where they were in absolute need of this service, they were in absolute need of this product. If you could introduce me to 2 other business owners that could do that need this help. Now, obviously, don't introduce me to your competitors. I don't want to compete against you, but introduce me to your neighbors. Introduce me to people who do similar work to you. Who, if I fix their website and I helped you guys do a joint venture link together, both of you would make more money. Right? We got the landscaper and the tree trimmer. Those guys aren't really fighting. It's a whole different set of tools, but they love working with the same clients, right? If they both have good websites, both of them will get more money, both of them will get more clients, and they can both refer more clients to each other. It becomes that win-win-win-win-win scenario, right? So if every client you have sends 2 referrals, 2 solid referrals, you triple the size of your business. That's crazy. People are busting their ass trying to get more leads, busting their ass trying to figure out the next new thing. Oh, Facebook's the new hot thing. No, YouTube is the next new hot thing. Okay, screw Facebook and YouTube. Instagram is the new hot thing. Forget Instagram, TikTok. TikTok is where it's at. It's always going to be moving over and over and over again, right? Marketing is marketing. It's just getting the message out there, right? And a very strong system which to do that is a referral program within your business. So one of the questions that we ask in our business audit is, do you have a systemized, repeatable, duplicatable referral program? Yes or no? And when we ask those questions, great. What's your script? What do you tell people to say when they're making an introduction? If you don't have that structured thing and everyone's introducing you differently, guess what? You don't have a system, right? So what was that system? Save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time, energy, and money. That's the one. System.
That's pretty good.
So
that's a good acronym.
So there's, and I mean, this could easily be the hack of the week. Whatever you're at,
we're about to
wherever
do
you're
that.
at in business, if you're in business and you want to grow the business, you want to triple your damn business, go to your current set of clients, ask for 2 referrals. If you do a good job and you build the relationship right, and you do, you deliver good service, good product, boom, you've just tripled. Most businesses cannot handle a tripling of incoming net new business. So, just obviously scale it properly. Don't ask all your best customers to send you 2 good leads, and then you burn all the good leads because you took on too much business at once and you didn't paint every wall of your house. It's like, I only got time to paint 3 of your walls. Sorry, the 4th one we'll have to do a year from now. What? Yeah, that's not going to work, right? So you still got to do a good job. So only use this, sparingly to the point where you've got enough business, and then just do it again, right? You can always pause the campaign and say, okay, yeah, we're full. And then do it again the next year or the next quarter, right? So there you go. There's your hack, right? Triple your business. Just take your clients out for coffee. Now here's the nuance behind it. Pick your favorite clients, and those are the ones that you want to take out. And those are the ones that are going to send birds of a feather. If you pick the client that you hate, guess what? They're going to bring you more clients that you hate.
You're going to have more of them, all their friends.
Exactly, because that's exactly what you want, right? So
I think any one of my clients that I hate, I can't actually picture them having any friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they behave with their friends like they behave with me as a client, I can't see anyone else spending any time with them voluntarily. But
yeah, no kidding. So
I got some real doozies in my past, although probably everybody does.
Oh yeah, we all have the fun ones. I think we have to make this, that would be another fun thing. We'll just completely do offline, no recording. It's okay. Who's got the worst customer? Who's got the worst customer? We'll just do tradesies on stories, right?
That'd be fun. Oh my god.
I think a changing moment in my life this is back when I was still 19 years old, and I watched the vice president of the company back then. This is like a big giant entrepreneurial firm. Tell another big giant entrepreneurial firm to stuff it. They're like, nope, sorry, you're too stupid to use our product, because they just used up so much of our resources. They're like, put it in the box, send it back, we'll give you a refund. I'm so sorry. You're too dumb to use this. And we're like, I'm just sitting there like, oh, you could do that? Like, never did it occur in my 19 years of life at that point that you could fire a client. I'm like, oh my gosh, didn't think you could do that. Growing up in a customer service oriented world, it's like customer is always right, but apparently that's not the whole quote, right?
Yeah. The quote is actually, by the way, the customer's money is always right.
That's the customer is always right in terms of taste.
Yeah.
Right. So it's whatever the customer's taste is, they're right in their taste because they're the only ones who can tell you what's right in their tast, right? But everything else, not so much. They just shortened it to the point where they can Karenify it, and it's just like, oh yeah, the customer's all right. No, they're not.
No. I found that one of the most powerful things you can say as a salesperson is no.
Yes.
Because they really believe you then. Like I've had customer, like in roofing or whatever, customer says, well, can we just put a new roof over the old roof? You say no. You know what I mean? And it sort of shocks them a little bit. Like, did this salesman just say no to me? Like, yeah, because you put the new roof over the old roof, it would be dead in 5 years, and you'll just have to buy a second roof. I'm going to save you some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the salesmen I worked with, he'd practice saying no. He'd be at his desk typing and be like, nope, no, He would just practice saying no. Because it's hard as a salesman. It's hard as a salesman. You always want to say yes to the customer, but I always had much more success when you say no, obviously in the right spot. Not like when they're like, "Can I give you my credit card now?" You say no.
No,
that's the wrong time to say no.
We only take wires or gold bullion.
So, yeah.
Do you have any gold bullion? Anyway, so yeah. In terms of saying no, that's a very powerful thing. People keep thinking I need to add stuff. Actually, it's cutting stuff away. You can cut away properly. You focus on the things that are right. Right. It's the 80-20 rule. Right. 20% of what you do produces 80% of what you're actually making. And now we were talking about Inception just a while ago.
Yeah.
Do the 80-20 of the 80-20 of the 80-20. Right? As you start to go deeper, so you got 80-20 rule. What's the 20% that produces 80% of the stuff? Cool. From that 20%, what's the 80% of that 20%? And then go further. What's the 80% of that 20%? And then all of a sudden, you know very specifically what are your next steps. What should you be doing? What are the exact pieces that you need to go next? And then you get hyper like focused, and you know exactly which knobs to turn and which dials to pay attention to.
Right on.
All right.
Cool. I think the energy just went, which tells us it's time to end off.
Yeah, it's weird. Like around the 40-50 minute mark, we're just like, yeah. And then I think, and I'm spent. You know,
exactly.
Austin Powers, right? Austin Powers is just you're a tiger. Then okay, we're out of film here. So.
Hold on, we're just gonna end off with another Wookiee. Hang on, I made a Wookiee while we're talking. You see this? This is a SpongeBob Wookiee.
Oh my god!
I mean, great.
It legit looks like a SpongeBob Wookiee.
See, I'm telling you, man. Everybody got 2 hacks this week. AI generated images are the future.
Absolutely, AI generated images. I've seen so many AI generated image places now. There's not one that I recommend. I just type in Google AI generated image, and the hilarity of it is you'll get a new batch of them every single time, and the next generation ones are always smarter than the previous generations one. And it just the iterations just keep getting better and better and better. I didn't think that you'd be able to type in Wookiee SpongeBob and generate that.
Oh yeah.
Who knew, right?
Have you actually? This is another good thing for business. Have you seen these AI generated explainer vids?
Yep, absolutely. Those are crazy too.
They take a what do you call it, like a stock image model.
Yes.
And you pick a face and you type it out, and they actually have the person bloody speaking to you now.
Yep.
Video and audio.
There's even inflections in the voice. When you ask a question with a question mark, the intonation goes up, and I'm like, what sorcery is this? This is a little nuts.
We could talk a long time on that, but it's like, what does this mean for the future? Like, can you ever trust a video anymore? Like
the Terminators are coming. It's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, I have 17,000 testimonials all on video. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Video testimonials. Oh my Lord. All right, man. Well, thank you very much. This has been Earl and the Idiot. We thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Earl, for being our Earl today. Thank you, me, for being an idiot. And we'll see you guys. Next week.